Hi, I am Phoenix Adonai. Welcome to the first explanation of quantum alchemy. As we are in Ascension, let me explain to you alchemy, or the art of transformation, or the art of life, in the objective of mastery of the third density. There is a lot to explain, as you can imagine and see, by living. So my perspective is based on the seventh principle of the seven hermetic laws, which is gender. Integrating the precedent 6 principles, gender is the interaction of polarity, and polarity is one of the principles, is the fourth principle of the hermetic laws or principles. And so gender have two perspectives. One is polarity, which is two opposite, and also the complementary. And everything that is something in the entire universe or cosmos, or all in all, from the biggest to the smallest, is an interaction of feminine and masculine. And observe the Trinity, because you have two, and their relationship is the third interaction, or the third element. Not the third. So, this observation or perspective is most obvious in the material world that we are experimenting. As human, we live on Earth, and from there it is important to make a difference between living, that is a finite experience from birth to death, which are two opposite again, and existing, that is infinite, because it is relative to our infinite soul, or our own spark of the infinite absolute, all there is consciousness, that is God. Or there you can say just the divine, not God, but the divine creator, creation, one, some call it one, the prime creator. This is all source. It's the divine. Observe the polarity of finite and infinite in interaction again. Because here, when you think about God, you can say that this is the integration of both feminine and masculine, but in a different perspective. The feminine will be the absolute, and the masculine will be the unique. So, for example, when we talk about the divine, creation will be feminine, and creator will be the masculine of the divine. And here we go. As soul, we are experimenting consciousness in a limiting state, in limiting body, enabling to experiment the responsibility of a fixed gender. And that experimentation of fixation, of uniqueness that we have in the material world, that is the third density, is the expression of masculine. That's why humanity can be called men. It's because it's a masculine expression because we are in a finite state of our absolute being, that is our soul. And when we talk about the consciousness that is the source, that is God or the game master, the consistency or the basic energy that enable any creation or creator is love, unconditional love. So that would be the substance of God or goddess. And it's the quanta energy, the quantum. It's love, the basic energy of everything. Because what we experiment, okay, in our material world, we think that materiality is fixed, but it's just the vibration of the energy. Like what is solid appears like it is so solid because it's in lower frequency. It's vibrating slower. So it's only a state of the energy. But we always experiment every state of energy because that's how the universe is. The basic quanta, meaning the basic energy, the quanta, that's the meaning of quanta, the smallest, is love. But you have to understand it's unconditional. So considering the basic trilogy of the alchemy, God, love, is one unique, the masculine God, one unique, and the feminine goddess is the absolute love of everything. The masculine is the infinite concentration, and the feminine is the absolute possibilities of creation. And both are always in interaction, always present, but it's just one expression. That would be, for example, the feminine will be like the giving, the receiving, the nurturing, the creating, and the masculine is the choice. It's the classification, the direction, the giving, like the choice, the action, the positioning. That's the masculine. So those two interaction made everything that is. So I hope you can understand, because we are now in a spiritual war and we appear as dark will be that the darkness was in dominance in opposite of light, which is the presence of love, and the dark would be the absence of love. So to be in the dark would be to are in a state of non-love, and that's what is causing fear. because as love is the absolute, the only thing that is the opposite of the absolute is the absence. So when you are in non-love, it's scary, and if you stay in the scary part, you will have pain. It's painful. That's what sometimes. That's why sometimes we think that the opposite of love will be fear, but it's just the result. Fear would be the result of the absence of love because it's scary, but you are in transformation or you are in dissolution. That's why it's scary too, because any unit that is in the absence of love will be in disintegration. And you know what's happening is that in darkness, for example, in an individual that is not in a choice, an experimentation of choosing love or positive emotions, that individual need to attack others to obtain love, control, attacked, like those are making the energetic vampires that we know. And that we sometimes are if we are not able to stabilize ourselves in a positive state. And when it's very painful, people will cut themselves from their heart because it's too painful. They don't want to feel emotions. They don't want to feel the absence of love. So they will then cut themselves from their soul and their heart. And that's what enabled them to be cruel and to be aggressive and to destroy, because they are in that state of non-love. And the only way they can obtain the quanta energy that is what's making everything that is something exist is to steal the energy, to siphon the energy. That's why they call vampire. They siphon the love energy. So yeah, it's very important to understand alchemy. So I hope this will help for this first presentation. And I will explain more based on that principle. And for example, alchemy will be a feminine explanation of living, as science is created from a masculine perspective of observation of living, of life. So those two need to be complementary. So that's also why I try to explain the most I can alchemy, so we have a new perspective, that we go further in the expression of the feminine, because this is extremely lacking, and it's the reason why we are in self-destruction as human. We are destroying our living space, that is Earth. So I'll be back. I'll talk to you soon. And keep yourself in love. Thank you. Bye bye.